Okay, so welcome everybody and welcome to week 3 of the speech and presentation. Let's move on. I will now move on to preparing you for your presentation. Now, just so that you can remember, next week you will be doing a presentation and I want you to upload this presentation to YouTube, and I will send you the rules for this later. But just remember, first you must have an introduction and a conclusion, and you can use the same answers as in the book. It's no problem. For for presentation 1, you can copy the same answers used in this book. Okay, so let's have a look and remember the introduction and conclusion. The introduction must have 4 parts, then you will have your main body, then you will have a conclusion of 4 parts. So please remember, you're going to have a closer, a greeting, an opener, a preview, a review, a signal phrase, a thanks, and a topic statement. So just remember, these are the parts, and remember the purpose. Okay, so a greeting is to calm your nerves and connect with the audience. Can you remember what the answers are? Well, let's move on quickly because we covered this last week. Okay, so a closer is to leave the audience with a final memorable thought. And your opener is to grab the audience's attention. Very important. And your preview is to give a roadmap of the main points you will include. And your next one, let's have a look. And next we're going to have a review, and the review is to remind the audience of the main points. Next, let's have a go. Here we go. We're going to have your signal phrase, and your signal phrase is to make it clear that you're going to finish soon. Next is your thanks, and to show appreciation to the audience for listening to you. Okay. Your topic statement, to tell the audience the main subject of your presentation. So your presentation next week is going to have these 8 parts as well as the main body that we will discuss later. Now, what is the order? So 4 of these are the introduction and 4 of them are conclusion. Can you remember what is the order? Okay, so let's quickly go through these because I know I covered it last week. This is just to help you remind. So the closer is part of the conclusion. It comes between numbers 5 to 8. And the greeting is obviously part of the introduction. The opener is part of the introduction. The preview is also part of the introduction. The review is part of the conclusion. And the signal phrase is also part of the conclusion. So the thanks, of course, the easy one. Sorry, that's charging. The thanks is part of the conclusion. And the topic statement, and that's to grab the audience's attention. And there are only 3 parts of the introduction so far. So this is obviously part of the introduction. Stupid thing. Yep, and what is the order? Okay, so please remember this order. Okay. So first you're going to do your greeting. Okay, so first you will write a greeting. Then you're going to do your opener. Then you will do your topic statement. Then you're going to have a preview. Then you're going to have a signal phrase. Then you're going to have a review. Then comes the closer. And you're going to have your thanks. Okay, so you're going to write your 4 introduction, then do your main body, and then write your 4 conclusions in that order, please. Okay, so can you remember I've taught you. So first you got finally, I truly believe that Yejin and I will be best friends for life. Or hello, I'm Lisa and I'm happy to speak with you today. A common saying about friends is friends are like stars. You don't always see them, but you know they are there. And you know why May and I are such good friends, because we have so much in common. Okay, you can use all of these in your presentation. You just change it. So me, finally, I truly believe that Richard and I will be best friends for life, because my best friend is called Richard. Hello everyone, I'm Jamie and I'm happy to speak with you today. A common saying about friends is friends are like stars. You don't always see them, but you know they are there. You know why Richard and I are such good friends, because we have so much in common. Now remember, they all have different things here. So these four, one of them is a closer, one of them is a greeting, one is an opener, one is a preview, one is a review, one is a signal phrase, one is a thanks, and one is a topic statement. So what are these? Can you remember? So finally, I truly believe that Yejun and I will be friends for life is number 7. Okay, so if it's number 7, it's obviously the closer. So you've got 7, 1, 2 and 6. Okay, moving on. And so in closing, I'll explain how we met, what we have in common and how we're different. Thank you for listening. Today I want to tell you about my best friend and what parts of these are what purpose do they? We've got 5, 4, 8 and 3 of course of this. Yep, on here 5, 4, 8 and 3. Sorry about this. Yep, so we got it. And you can copy all of these, but obviously if you're going to do this and it says, finally, I truly believe that Yejin and I will be best friends for life. Obviously, you probably won't be writing Yejun. You'll be writing the name of your best friend. But you can use these all to help you. Okay? Or you can do these. If you want, they're absolutely fine. Yep, we've got these openers. Okay? After you greet your audience, you can use an opener as a hook to grab the audience's attention. And here are 6 common types of openers. We've got a quotation or proverb. We've got a story or a mystery list, a question, a general statement, an introduction or task, and an interesting fact or statistic. Okay, so you can use these, you can copy exactly. And it says 2A, what type of opener is each presenter using? Match the openers in the box with the speakers. So you know, a Russian proverb says, tell me who your friend is and I'll tell you who you are. Please close your eyes. Now try to remember your best friend when you were a child. Okay, open your eyes. I'm sure all of us agree that friends make our life meaningful. What's most important to you in your life? Over 80% of teens say that friends are the most important thing in life. Recently, I was at a cafe and I saw 3 guys talking and laughing together so comfortably it made me think about my friends. Okay, so what are they? So let's have a look. Here we go. Here's the numbers. I know we covered this last week. So number 1, a quotation or proverb. Number 2 is a story or a mystery list. Number 3 is a question. Number 4 is a general statement. And number 5 is an instruction or task. And number 6 is an interesting fact or statistic. Please remember, you can use any of these as your opener. I don't mind if you copy these openers. It is okay. Okay, I'm not going to do this part. Right, so let's move on now because we need to get ready for the presentation. So let's move on to our closers. Okay, so your presentation's closing statement should give your audience a memorable final impression. Okay, this is very, 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 very important. And as you know, it says here are 6 common types of closer. And what you need to do is match each type with the statement below. So we've got a thought or comment about the future, a recommendation or invitation, a statement about the topic's importance, a call to action, a quotation or proverb, and a request for others to share. Pass the mic. And please remember, you can use any of these if you want to use them as your closer. It is absolutely fine. Okay? So next August, why don't you celebrate Friendship Day with all your friends? Now that you've heard all about my friend, I'd like to hear about yours. In the end, I know that whenever I truly need a friend, Jan will always be there for me. I'd like to end with another quote. A true friend is someone who brings out the best in you. Put your friends first and support them because they are the most important than anything. All in all, what really makes our friendship strong is our respect for each other. As you know, there are 6 main types of closers. What are they? So let's have a look. Okay, so number 2, next August, why don't you celebrate Friendship Day with all your friends? That's a recommendation or an invitation. Number 6, now that you've heard all about my friend, I'd like to hear about yours. That's a request for others to share. Pass the mic. Pass the mic means pass the microphone. Number 1, in the end, I know that whenever I truly need a friend, Jan will always be there for me. And number 1 is a thought or comment about the future. Next one, in the end, I'd like to end with another quote. A true friend is someone who brings out the best in you. Okay, what is that? Stupid thing. That's number 5. It's a quotation or proverb. And put your friends first and support them because they are more important than anything. And that one is a call to action. Next one, moving on. All in all, what really makes our friendship strong is our respect for each other. Obviously, that has to be number 3, which is a statement about the topic's importance. Okay, so please, if you wanted, you can copy any of these 6 closers. It's no problem. Presentation 1, you are allowed to copy from the book, but obviously change the name. So if it says, my best friend is Ye Jun, obviously change it to my best friend is Dong Min, my best friend is Don Uk, whatever. Okay, and let's have a look. Let's move on. And if we watch or listen to Sophie's conclusion, she uses a thought or comment about the future, which is number 1. Okay, so here we go. Now, this is the important part. It's starting to get really, really serious now. It's important to practice a lot before you give your presentation in front of an audience. However, it is not necessary to memorize every word. You can use note cards to remind you of your key points. This will help you feel more confident and relaxed during your presentation. Now look here. Look at the notes that Sophie's notes are the orange notes, and Jason used during their presentation. Jason's are the white notes. Which tips below did each speaker follow? Okay, so we've got S and J. So you've got these cards here, and these are the tips below. Okay, so remember these. It's important to practice a lot before you give your presentation in front of an audience. However, it is not necessary to memorize every word. You can use notes to remind you of your key points, and this will help you feel more confident and relaxed during your presentation. Look at the notes right here, and then Which tips below? So note card tips. Who used postcard size index cards? Who used A4 size paper? So if it was Sophie, just write S in the box, and if it was Jason, write a J. So somebody used postcard sized index paper. Use A4 size paper. Write out the whole presentation, or write only the main points and keywords. Write large so that the notes are easy to see. Write small to fit everything on one card. Write complete sentences so you can read easily. Write short phrases as reminders. Write on both sides to include more information. Write on one side only. Write in paragraph form. Use bullet points to separate key ideas. Number each card in the same place. Label the paper front and back. Write in black or blue ink only. Use coloured pens to highlight keywords and key phrases. So look at these. As you know, it is important to practice a lot before you give your presentation in front of an audience. However, it is not necessary to memorise every word. You can use note cards to remind you of your key points. This will help you feel more confident and relaxed during your presentation. Look at the notes here that Sophie and Jason did. Okay? And I want you to go into this box here and write who did which note card tips. So let's have a look at the note cards in more detail. So body 1, how we met 4 years ago at high school dance circle. Body 2, things we have in common. Family, only child, mother at elementary school teachers. Number personality, easy going and laid back. Positive, optimistic, don't argue much. Interests, hip-hop music, like to wear street fashion. Body 3, how we are different. School, Kate, good at math. Smart, top student. Me, good at English. Reading tastes. Me, love reading novels. Kate only reads music magazines. Sleeping habits. Kate sleeps late weekends, me up at 8 a.m. Seems okay to me by Sophie. Let's have a look at Jason. Jason says, I met Sammy 3 years ago when we were first year students in university in London. His personality type, let's see. Definitely not the lazy type, that's for sure. Sammy's incredibly active and energetic. We both are. So that's probably why we became friends. He always wants to be outdoors, playing sports, hiking, running, whatever. He also likes to tell jokes. So my friends and I are always laughing when we hang out with him. Sammy loves trying new things, especially extreme sports. Right now he's into paragliding and kite surfing. That's a bit too much for me. I prefer running, cycling and swimming. They're a lot safer and really good exercise. Actually, Sammy and I train together for a triathlon race. That's what we do twice a week, on Wednesday evening and Sunday afternoon. After our training, we usually go to the nearest coffee shop to plan our next training session. So, okay, have a look. Who did this? Put an S or a J into these boxes and do it now, please. Okay, so let's have a look at the answers. Here we go. Yeah, this is who did what. Okay, so here we go. So what did Sophie do? Sophie used postcard-sized index cards. Jason used A4 size paper. Jason wrote out the whole presentation, but Sophie writes only the main points and keywords. Sophie writes large so the notes are easy to see, whereas Jason writes small to fit everything on one card. Jason writes complete sentences so you can read easily, whereas Sophie writes short phrases as reminders. Jason writes in paragraph form, but Sophie uses bullet points to separate key ideas. Jason writes in black or blue ink only, but Sophie uses coloured pens to highlight keywords and phrases. And if you look back, let's just go back. Obviously, whose is better? Okay, I think you completely agree that using note cards, sorry about this. Using note cards, Sophie's is obviously much better. That's why we use the note cards. So let's go skip through here. One momento. So it's important to practice a lot before you give your presentation in front of an audience. However, it's not necessary to memorise every word. You can use note cards to remind you of your key points. This will help you feel more confident and relaxed during your presentation. So, compare your answers with a partner. Which speaker has the most effective, useful notes and why? Okay, I'm sure you agree that Sophie is using by far the best note cards. What I want you to do now is rewrite Jason's notes on the note card. So just make small note cards at home and follow the tips Sophie used. Then compare them with a partner. Okay? Rewrite Jason's notes on the note cards. So get some card and rewrite Jason, okay? Rewrite Jason's notes on the note cards. Follow the tips Sophie used, not Jason, okay? These tips, follow the tips that Sophie used. Then when you've finished, maybe you can call your friend and ask what they did. Obviously, you can't meet them in the same room at the moment. And do this, and do it now, please. Okay, so let's have an agreement. We've got Sophie's note cards are more effective. They focus on the main points and the keywords, of course. And they use a bold and coloured font to make them easy to read. Yes, completely. Sophie's note cards are more effective. They focus on the main points and keywords, and they use a bold and coloured font to make them easy to read. Now, as you know, I showed you the rubric that you will be getting for 10 points for next week. How can you get 10 points? Okay, I'll go over this again. But developing presentation techniques, this is presentation 1. You are not expected to be perfect in presentation 1. You are expected to become better every time that you do a presentation. So let's have a look first. Developing presentation techniques, eye contact. Making eye contact with members of the audience is a great way to connect with them one-to-one so they feel more involved. You can follow some simple tips to help you use eye contact effectively when you are speaking. And we have Patrick, Sophie and Grace here. What do you think these speakers are doing wrong? What do you think they're doing wrong? So eye contact. Making eye contact with members of the audience is a great way to connect with them one-to-one so they feel more involved. You can follow some simple tips to help you use your eye contact effectively when you are speaking. What do you think these speakers are doing wrong? And it says share your ideas with a partner. What is Patrick doing wrong? What's he doing? What is Sophie doing wrong? And what is Grace doing wrong? All three of these are making mistakes. What are they? Do you know? Okay, so if we look here, Patrick is not looking at the audience, okay? He's looking up at the ceiling, which is not good. You should be looking at your audience. Sophie is using her note cards in front of her face, which is way too high, and she's also reading too much. And Grace is looking down at the floor. She is not looking at the audience. That's what they're all doing wrong. Okay, so eye contact. Making eye contact with members of the audience is a great way to connect with them one-to-one, so they feel more involved. You can follow some simple tips to help you use eye contact effectively when you are speaking. Let's have a look. So 2B, match the eye contact tips with their descriptions below. Okay, you don't need to compare them because I'll give you the answer. Okay, so we have A, B, C, D, E, F, and A says aim for 90%. Master the read silently, look up, speak technique. C, don't be a lighthouse. D, hold for a sentence. E, hold note cards at chest level. F, think between people. Okay, so remember that making eye contact with members of the audience is a great way to connect with them one-to-one, so they feel more involved. You can follow some simple tips to help you use eye contact effectively when you are speaking. Match the eye contact tips with the description below, then compare. Don't compare. A, aim for 90%. B, master the read silently, look up, speak technique. Don't be a lighthouse. Hold for a sentence. Hold note cards at chest level. Think between people. So let's have a look. Don't look at the ceiling or floor when you are thinking of what to say next. Just look at the space between people. This position makes it easy for you to move your eyes from your notes to the audience without moving your head too much. Look down at your notes for a maximum of 10% of your presentation time. This means practice, 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 practice. Don't read directly from your notes. When you need to check your notes, pause briefly. Look at your notes and then look up at the audience and continue speaking. Don't move your eyes left and right too evenly. It's better to look at all sections of the audience at random. Look at someone for 3 or 4 seconds, then look at someone else when you begin the next sentence. Okay, so here are some excellent tips that they're giving you. I'm trying my best to give you a very good score here. It's up to you to practice. Put these here. What do they mean? A, B, C, D, E, F, and put them in the gap on the left, and do that now, please. Okay, so don't look at the ceiling or floor when you are thinking of what to say next. Just look at the space between people. This is F, think between people. And the next one, E. This position makes it easy for you to move your eyes from your notes to the audience without moving your head too much. Hold note cards at chest level. A. Look down at your notes for a maximum of 10% of your presentation time. This means practice, 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 okay? Aim for 90%. Do not be reading from your note cards more than 10%. The next one, B. Don't read directly from your notes. When you need to check your notes, pause briefly, look at your notes, and then look up at the audience and continue speaking. B. Master the read silently, look up, speak technique. C. And C. Don't move your eyes left and right too easily. It's better to look at don't move your eyes left and right too evenly. It's better to look at all sections of the audience at random, and this is don't be a lighthouse. And the next one is a D. Look at someone for 3 or 4 seconds, Then look at someone else when you begin the next sentence. This is hold for a sentence. Do not stare at the same person for the full presentation. You will drive them crazy. Don't do it. Okay, so we've got some practice. Here we go. So if you looked at the section of a presentation about Sarah below and make a note card. So look at the section of presentation about Sarah below, make a note card. Remember to follow the tips on page 16. Then take turns making a short presentation in a small group. Use your note cards to talk about Sarah or Sammy. Make eye contact with anyone in your group. Obviously you can't do this, but you can practice. Okay? I want you to practice here. It says, so how would I describe Sarah? She's very artistic and creative. She enjoys painting and drawing pictures. I'm the opposite. I'm terrible at art. Actually, Sarah's a little shy sometimes, especially when she meets new people. Sarah loves studying and she's a really good student, so I think she's really smart. Our favourite place to hang out is Bean Cafe. We go there after school almost every day. So you're going to use this as your first bit of practice of your presentation just in your mirror. If you're at your home, just look in a mirror and have a practice. And remember, you've got to follow these tips, okay? Try to practice these tips and read this. How are you going to do it, okay? So make a note card and write this. So how would I describe Sarah? She's very artistic and creative. She enjoys painting and drawing pictures. I'm the opposite. I'm terrible at art. Actually, Sarah's a little shy sometimes, especially when she meets new people. Sarah loves studying and she's a really good student. So I think she's really smart. Our favourite place to hang out is Bean Cafe. We go there after school almost every day. Have a practice with this and do it now, please. Okay, so here we go. So just remember, this is your presentation. Here it is. This is your presentation 1 for 10 points. And it's called Give a Presentation About a Good Friend. Okay? And it says, choose a good friend who you would like to introduce to the class. Write the friend's name in the centre of the brainstorm map. Then add as many details as you can to each brainstorming topic. Okay, so here you go. This is your main body. Okay, so we've got my friend. So I would put my friend Richard. That would be what I would do. I would put my friend Richard. How we are different. What we do together. How we met. Things in common and other information. Okay, so you've got other information. So what I want you to do is choose a good friend who you would like to introduce to the class. Then write the friend's name in the centre of the brainstorming map. Then add as many details as you can to each brainstorming topic. And complete this now, please. Okay, so using your brainstorming map to complete an outline for the body of your presentation, change or add your own topic if you want and decide where it should go. Okay, so we've got the body, how we met. You're going to write 2 things of how you met your best friend, how we met, and things in common, and how we are different and what we do together. Okay, so I want you to write these now. This is your main body. And just think you can use them. How we met, things in common. How we are different and what we do together. And complete these. So you need how we met, 2 answers please. Things in common, 3 answers. How we are different, 3 answers. What we do together, 3 answers. And do this and do it now, please. Okay, so you're going to have an opener. So you've got your introduction. You're going to have an opener. You can use a quotation or a proverb. Then you have your topic statement. You can copy the topic statement used in this unit. You have a preview. You can copy the preview used in this unit. Then you're going to have your conclusion, a signal phrase, a review, and a closer. Okay, so remember the introduction, you can use an opener. You can use any opener that you want. Okay, there was many different kinds of openers. Use one. Choose any one and you can choose it from the book. It's no problem. Write your topic statement and your preview. Then your conclusion, a signal phrase, a review and a closer of your choice. And you can copy these from the book that was covered in this unit. It's no problem. This adds impact to your presentation. Now make one note card for each section of your presentation and look back at the tips on page 16. Okay, so you're going to have an introduction, you're going to use an opener, that's one note card. You're going to have a topic statement, use another note card. You're going to have a preview, one note card. Your conclusion, signal phrase, a review and a closer. And your main body. Okay, that is your main body right there. Okay, and you can go back to page 16 and you can look at these to help you. Okay, all these tips here. Some of these excellent tips from Sophie would really help you. Okay, let me just go right through again. So your presentation, I want you to include the main body. And you're going to have an opener, a topic statement and a preview. And you're going to have a signal phrase, a review and a closer. Make one note card for each section of your presentation. So you're going to have 7 note cards. You will have 7 note cards. Why 7? Opener, 1 note card. Topic statement, 1 note card. Preview, 1 note card. Main body, that's your main body, 4 note cards. Signal phrase, 5 note cards. Review, 6 note cards. Closer, 7 note cards. Okay, that's all you do. Write me 7 note cards, so make 1 note card for each section of your presentation and you can look back at the tips on page 16. And the note card tip, hold your note card in one hand and keep your thumb next to the line you need to say next. Number 5, practice and present. Now give your presentation to the class. Remember to make eye contact. Good luck. PowerPoint tips. Use keywords and short phrases rather than complete sentences on slides. Okay? Please don't. Yep, I'd rather you used note cards. Do not use PowerPoint. I want you to use note cards and I will put this in the instructions. Okay, so number 4, make note cards. Make 1 note card for each section of your presentation. Look back at the tips on page 16 to help you. And note card tip, hold your note card in one hand and keep your thumb next to the line you need to say next. Number 5, practice and present. Now give your presentation to the class. Remember to make eye contact. Good luck. Okay, you obviously cannot give your presentation to the class, but what you can do is do what I do. You can record yourself, but you will be video recording yourself and then uploading your presentation to YouTube and sending the link to the LMS system, and then I will score you online. But I will write the rules and instructions next week. Okay, this is only week 3. Your presentation is in week 4. Okay, so remember, you can do these. We're going to do all 4. You can just get these on anywhere in your cards. So we've got the introduction and the conclusion. Let's include these. Yep. And you can copy these, it's no problem. These are here to help you. Here's your introduction and your conclusion, then your main body. Okay? So finally, I truly believe that, John and I will be best friends for life. Hello everyone, I'm Lisa and I'm happy to speak with you today. A common saying about friends is, friends are like stars. You don't always see them, but you know they are there. You know why May and I are such good friends, because we have so much in common. Please, please, please include all 4 of these in your presentation, and you can copy all of these if you want, but just change the name. So you obviously don't say, hello everyone, I'm Lisa. You would say, hello everyone, I'm Jamie, I'm Don Hook, whatever. Then you're going to have your presentation, okay? So that they come first, you'll have your introduction, the main body, then we move on to the conclusions, okay? So 4 things, the introduction, then the main body, then 4 things, the conclusion. Yep, so you can say, so in closing, yep. So number 5, number 8 will come after the main body. Numbers 3, number 4 will come before the main body. Okay? 3 and 4, you can copy them and you can use them as your introduction. 5 and 8, you can copy them and you can use them as your conclusion. Okay? 7, you can copy it but change the name John and use it in your conclusion as the number 7. Number 1, hello everyone. You can use this as part of your introduction, but you've obviously changed the name Lisa. And then if you want, you can use this kind of opener. A common saying about friends is, friends are like stars. You don't always see them, but you know they are there. That is also one of the things you can use. You can copy it and use it as your introduction. Number 6, you know why, Richard and I are such good friends because we have so much in common. That is going to be in your conclusion. It's going to come after the main body. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you're going to fit these all in. Yep. 7 will be your conclusion. 1 is your introduction. 2 is your introduction. 6 is your conclusion. The main body must be your number 5 note card. Well, no, the main body, sorry, yeah. So number 4 is your introduction, then the main body, then you're going to have number 5. Number 8 is going to be the conclusion. Number 3 is going to be the introduction. Okay? And how do I get 10 points? This is how you get 10 points. Here is the assessment form. Presentation 1, and I want you to write your name, presenter, unit, topic. Unit, topic number 1, a good friend. And here are the rules. Okay? So the presenter, your name, the features. The presentation's introduction had an effective greeting, opener, topic statement and preview. No problem, okay? Because all you have to do is include all of these. If you include all 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, the main body, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you include all of them, then you will get 1 point, because The presentation's introduction had an effective greeting, opener, topic statement and preview. You have done it. If you include what I'm telling you to include. The topic was relevant. The body of the presentation included enough interesting details and information about the topic. This should not be a problem because all you need to do to get that point is to complete this. That would get you 1 point because that's all the information that it is asking for. Okay, sorry I keep going back and forward. So the presentation's conclusion had an effective signal phrase, review and closer. Okay, this once again should not be a problem because all you have to do is include these four, the main body and these four. Then everything is done. Okay, I have taken care of you. So, number 1, the presentation's introduction had an effective greeting, opener, topic statement and preview. You should be 1 point if you complete this. The topic was relevant. The body of the presentation included enough interesting details and information about the topic. You should get 1 point for this, no problem. The presentation's conclusion had an effective signal phrase, review and closer. Of course, you should get 1 point for this. It should be no problem. Now it starts getting to the difficult part. I have taught you everything. I've given you lots and lots and lots of help. Next, the presenter spoke clearly with appropriate speed, volume and voice projection. Okay, on week 1, I introduced lots of presentation tips. Yep, don't speak too fast and don't speak too slow. Volume, okay, don't speak too loud and don't speak too quietly. The presenter made eye contact and used note cards effectively. Okay, so how much note cards should you be using? How much eye contact? Okay, remember, you should be making eye contact 90% of the time. You only use note cards, reading 10% of the time, okay? Do not try to read from your note cards for more than 10% of the full presentation. The presenter used appropriate posture, body language and gestures. Okay, these were covered in week 1 and I put the PowerPoint for that material up onto the LMS. So there you go. The presenter used the grammar, vocabulary, expressions and other language from the unit accurately and effectively. I want you to use some of the language to describe people that we covered in this book. The presenter spoke fluently, smoothly and naturally without not too much hesitation, repetition or pausing. Speak fluently, please. The presenter used appropriate pronunciation, intonation, rhythm and phrasing. And the presenter was confident, energetic, engaged the audience and kept their attention. This is how you get 10 points. It should not be difficult. It really shouldn't. Okay? So here you go. I've put it right at the end to help you. Okay? If you include all of these 8 things, you will be absolutely fine. Okay? So you'll have all of them. Finally, I truly believe that Richard and I will be best friends for life. Hello everyone, I'm Lisa and I'm happy to speak with you today. A common saying about friends is friends are like stars. You don't always see them, but you know they are there. You now know why May and I are such good friends, because we have so much in common. Okay? And there they are. 1 and 2 are in your introduction. 7 and 6 are in your conclusion after the main body. And this is your main body. And if you complete it, then that's enough. Okay? So things in common, how we are different, what we do together, other information, how we met. Let's just go back. Yeah. And here it is. My friend, how we met. Tell me 2 things about how we met. Tell me 2 things about how we met. Things in common. Tell me 3 things. Things in common. How we are different. Tell me 3 things. And what we do together. Tell me 3 things. Then include 1 and 2 as your as your introduction, and 6 and 7 will be part of your conclusion. And as I've just discussed, how many things you have to write, things in common, how we are different, what we do together, other information, how we met. Complete that. And then 3 and 4 would be your introduction, and 5 and 8 would be your conclusion. Okay? And the last time, how do you get 10 points? Here is the assessment form. So the presentation's introduction had an effective greeting, opener, topic statement and preview. 1 point, no problem. Just include what I've told you to include. The topic was relevant. The body of the presentation included enough interesting details and information about the topic. 2 points, no problem. Just include what I've told you. The presentation's conclusion had an effective signal phrase, review and closer. No problem. Just include what I've taught you. Now is where you need to practice. The presenter spoke clearly with appropriate speed, volume and voice projection. Okay, this is where you need to practice. I can't give you any more help. This is about you. Practice, practice, practice. The next one, the presenter made eye contact and used note cards effectively. Once again, this is about you, and this is where practice, practice, practice is the important part. The next one, the presenter used appropriate posture, body language and gestures. Once again, practice, and then there is no reason why you shouldn't get full points. The presenter used the grammar, vocabulary, expressions and other language from the unit accurately and effectively. Look back at the unit, and we looked at some adjectives and phrases to describe friends. The presenter spoke fluently, smoothly and naturally without too much hesitation, repetition or pausing. This is where you need to practice. Practice, 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 please. And the presenter used appropriate pronunciation, intonation, rhythm and phrasing, and that is once again where you need to practice. The presenter was confident, energetic, engaged the audience and kept their attention. Okay, that is how you get 10 points, everybody, and good luck. Good luck.